Welcome to lecture number 9 of Python for Researchers. This is module 1, which is Python from scratch, and we are on lecture number 9. In this lecture, what we are going to do is we are deep diving into the concept of lists. So this whole lecture is dedicated to the list. How do we declare a list? How do we do mathematical operations on list? So first of all, what is list? List is a built-in data structure. That means collection of items. That can be integers, that can be string, any collection of items. And it is an ordered and mutable container. So that means the word mutable and immutable you will hear again and again. So mutable means you can change its value, you can mute its value, you can delete its value once defined, you can update its value, you can add the number, you can just change. And immutable means once defined you cannot change it. So list is mutable. That means, like in previous examples, in previous lectures, you were looking that we were making an empty list, and then during the loop we were adding some values in the list. Because lists are mutable, you can add them, you can add the elements in the list, you can update them. Now the simplest example of list that we have already studied in previous lectures, that was, let's suppose if I write fruit equal to, and in list you define in square brackets, so I can just write apples, bananas and cherries, ABC. So this is a list, and this list contains 3 string elements. Now this is how we declare a list. And once you have declared a list, actually technically this shell should be below it. So here, declaring a list. To delete a cell you press D twice, and to add a cell below you press B, to add a cell above you press A. Now there is an important concept in declaring a list. That is, list can be empty, just like list 1 is equal to just an empty list. List can have integers, just like 1, 2, 3. This is list 2. List can have strings, just like A, B and C. And list can have another list, just like list 4 is equal to A, and then 1, that means integer, and then list inside a list, 1, 2, 3. So list 4 contains 2 elements, and third element itself is a list. Now there is a concept of indexing a list. That means accessing some specific item in a list. That is called indexing. So whatever the number of items are there, let's suppose if you have written 3 values in a list, in list 2 defined above here, there are 3 values in a list. So the index is the first item, second item, third item. So the first item has index 0. So in Python, remember, indexing always starts at 0. So if you want to access that, so print, if I just write print list 2, it will just print the numbers of element in list 2. So I haven't run that code, that's why it is giving the error. So let's run that code, shift enter, and now Python recognizes list 2. So list 2 is 1, 2, 3. But I just want to print the first value, so I will use the square bracket and write 0. That is called the index. Means I don't want to print the complete list 2 elements, I just want the 0 index, that means the first value. Now it will just print 1, and if I write 2, it will print the third element. If I write 1, it will print the first element, because the indexing starts at 0, so 1 means the second element. And even you can do the reverse indexing as well. So reverse indexing is, I'm just writing in the comment, reverse indexing. That means you can just start from the end. So you can print list 2 and -1. So it will print the last element. So last element in list 2 is 3, so that's why it's writing 3. If I write -2, it will return this second element from the last. You can do other methods on list as well, like you can add an element in the list. So there are two ways of adding an element. One is the append and second is the insert. So as the syntax is written there, append means you just have to write the name of list dot append and then the value which you want to append. But let's suppose if you want to let's have an example there. Suppose I define my list is equal to 1 2 3 4 and I want to print the list that I defined, my list. So they are 1 2 3 4. Now let's suppose I want to add a number in the list. So my list dot append, what number I want to append, let's suppose 5. So now my list variable has now 5 elements. If I want to print that again, print my list, so you can see 5 has been added. So this is the append command. You just write the name of the list dot append and then you write the value. Actually in Python language we say that is a method. Whenever there is dot and then the bracket thing, we say that is a method. And the other method of adding an element in the list is the insert and then index and then value. Now let's suppose I say my list dot insert and then I write 0, 9. So what will this command do? This method will add 9 in the index 0. That means in the beginning, because if I just write the append 9, it will add 9 in the end. But if I use the insert method, I can define the location that where I need to enter that number. So I will just write print my list. So you can see 9 has been added in the first index, that is 0. So this is how you add element in the list. Now if you want to remove an element from the list, so there are again two ways. First is remove and then just write the value. Like let's suppose in the same list, okay, let's define another list. X is equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6. So there are 6 elements in list X. I use a method of remove. So remove X dot remove 5. So this will remove 5 from my list. Now if I want to print X, so we can say that 5 has been removed wherever it was, whatever the index it was, it has removed 5 from the list. And the other command to remove an element is pop. Like if I say X dot pop and just bracket nothing, so this will remove the last element. So X has the last element 6. I also want to print the list X, so you can see the last element 6 has been removed and now we have only 1 2 3 4. And pop also has some index as well. Like you can just write X dot pop and 3. So it means we just write index here, so it will remove the fourth value from the list X. Now if you print X, so you can see the fourth value has been removed because 3 means the fourth element. Indexing starts at 0, remember. And even the reverse indexing is also possible in pop. So since our list is list has reduced and pop 3 is not there, this is giving error, this command now, because there is no fourth element. So that's why if I rerun this command I will get an error. Okay, so I will define another list. Let's suppose A is equal to 5 6 7 8 9 10. So there are 5 elements in list A. I use A dot pop and then let's suppose -3. So this removes the third element from the last, that means the right element. So what is third element here? That is 8. So this will remove 8 from my list. Let's check. So yes, initially the list was 5 6 7 8 9 10 and you can see 8 has been removed. So we have 5 6 7 9 10 in list A. So this is how we remove an element from a list. Now we can concatenate, that means join lists as well, and we can do repetition as well. So we use plus operator to concatenate or extend list to concatenate. Let's have some examples. Let's suppose I use list 1 is equal to x, y, z. This is my list 1, and list 2 is a, s, a, d. And now I want to create a list, concat, let's suppose, whatever the name you want to give it. That will be actually list 1 plus list 2. So now the list cont is actually x, y, z, a, s, a, d. So it has added both lists. So if you just write the plus operator, it will join the two lists. Another way of extending a list is list 1 dot extend. That is method actually, because we are writing dot and then the bracket thing. So list 1 dot extend list 2. That means in list 1 extend it by adding list 2. That means list 2 will not be changed, list 1 will be changed. If you print list 1, it will be x, y, z, a, s, a, d. But if you print list 2, that is still a, s, a, d. But this command is actually updating list 1, in other words we can say. So just print list 1. So you can see it has x, y, z, a, s, a, d. It has updated, extended the list. Okay, you can also sort the list. If there are integers in it, or if there are numbers in it, you can sort the list as well. Like let's suppose if I define x is equal to 1, 5, 6, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 9. So these are the elements. I want to sort them. So the method is simple, x dot sort. Now if I print x, I will get a sorted list 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, so on. And if you want to sort in descending order, because sometimes we need the descending order, so what you can do is let's define another list, because I don't want to ruin that list. So 4, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 9 and 0. Now let's suppose if you want to sort it in reverse order, so you will just write y dot sort and reverse is equal to true. Now if you see y, it is, look, it has been arranged in the descending order. Length of a list, that we have already learned in previous lectures. Let's suppose I want to see the length of list y, so I will write length and y. So the length of list y is 10 because there are 10 elements in list y. If you want to see length of list x, so length of is x is 8. And since I'm not using the print command, that is why the Jupyter notebook is smart enough, it will just print, but it will always print the last command. So if you want to print everything that you have written, so you should use the print function. So 10 and 8. Now slicing is actually getting a subset of a list. Means if there are 10 elements, I just want 3 of them or 4 of them as a separate list. So we use slicing for that. So the slicing is you just write the name of list and then you open the square bracket. Now instead of writing the index, you write the start index, then stop index, and then the step index, just like we do in the range. If you remember in for loop we were doing in range. So let's have an example. X is equal to 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 2. And if I say print x, now from where to where? From 0 to 4. So now 1 2 5 6. You can see it has printed the start, because it is a start and a stop, so it is not the index, it is just the start position. So start from first position and end at the fourth position, so it is giving me 4 values here. And if you just write the step, then it will show it. Now let's suppose I want from 0 till 4, so that was a 0 to 4. But if I want from -4 till end, so the command will be print x and then -4 till end. Now you can see it's 8902, because we need from -4, that means fourth last element, till end. If you don't want any number, you just write it. But if I just write just suppose write -2, so it will just show me from -4 to -2, that means -4 and -3, and then just the last 2 elements. Okay. And another thing is, like suppose if you want all of the elements but you want to skip some element, so you will use the step thing. Print x initial value, I'm not writing anything, last value I'm not writing anything because I want everything, and then I write 2. So what will it do? It will print the all elements, but with this step 2. So 1, then 5, then 7, then 9, then 2. And let's suppose if you just need from first element till 8 elements with step by 2, so print x, slicing starts from the beginning, so I don't write anything, and then end at 8, and then take 2 elements at a time. So 1 5 7 9, so 1 because it's starting from the beginning, and then skip 2 elements, step is 2, so it is just stepping by 2, and then the last element should be 8, because 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, so it will stop at 0, so it will not go beyond 0. And also if you want to see the length of x, sum of x, you can use that as well. That is the arithmetic operations, like I can say sum x, print sum of x. So sum of x elements in list, because x is still this 1 2 3 4, so if you add all of them you get 40. And there are other methods as well, just like you can that we have already done, just like print length of x, so it will just return how many elements are there in x. The other methods are minimum and maximum value. If you want to find out the minimum value in a list, you just write let's have another fresh list, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So print the max number in the list is max of x. So you can see the print number, maximum number is 6. If you want to print the minimum number as well, so you just copy it, paste, and instead of max use the min method. So the minimum number is this. Sorted. So sorted command is, if you want to sort, so let's suppose we have another list, y is equal to 2 3 1 5 9 4 3. So print sorted y. So this will print the sorted values of y. But remember, y dot sort and sorted value of y are two different things. If you write sorted y, it will just sort it, but it will not change y. Y is still same. The order of y, the list has not been changed. It is just while printing it is sorting, if you use the sorted command. So you need to remember that concept. Okay, and another command we have index. Like suppose I want to see in list y what is the index of 5. So I will just write y dot index 5. So index of 5 is 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, because that is the fourth element, so index is obviously that is supposed to be 3. And then count, if you want to count the number of occurrences, that how many times you are getting a number, so y count 3. So 3 is twice. You can see in the list y we have 2 3s, so that's why it is counting it. So there are just few examples, and Python provide many more methods and functions to work with lists. So you can find the detailed information in official Python documentation. You just go to Google and just write the list operations in Python. You will find a lot of that. Okay, now whatever we have learned in this lecture, that we are going to just do a simple basic statistical analysis. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a program in which user will have to input some numbers. Once the input is complete, the user has to enter E. That means exit. So the program will exit. And then the program will sort the given values, whatever the values the user has given. Then it will find the sum of those numbers. It will find the number of values, and it will find the maximum value, minimum value, the mean, and the median. So obviously we have done almost all of these things. So we just have to recall all that thing and just enter here. So let's do. First step is getting input from the user. So first of all, the num list, I am creating an empty list because initially the list is empty. And then data is equal to input, enter a number to add into data, or press E when done. Right, so I'm giving user prompt that if you keep adding the numbers, it will keep adding the numbers. If you are done, you just type E. Now I want Python that if the data value, that data which the user has entered is not E, keep checking the input. So while, so I will use while loop. Now for loop will not work. While data is not equal to E, means if user has not entered E, then data is equal to input, and no, first we will append it, and then we will ask the user again. So num list dot append. That means in num list you have to append a number. What number you have to append? Integer value of the data. So right now we are just limiting user to input integer, enter our number integer. Obviously you can use floats as well, but here you will have to use float, so it's up to you. To make it simple, I'm just writing the integers. Okay, so again, if the user has not entered E, so I will ask the same message again from the user. Now let's run this code. 2, 3, 4, 5, so look, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8. As soon as I press E, so the program has stopped. So that means these block of codes, what are they doing? Actually they are asking user to enter a number. Once the numbers are done, they are keeping added to the num list, appended to the num list because of this block of code. Okay, so now we have gathered data from the user. The second step is we have to order the data. So to order the data, means we need to arrange it. So print the data entered in the original order is \n. \n means new line, and then num list means whatever the list was there. Then after that, print the data in ascending order is \n, that means new line, sorted, because we don't want to ruin the list order, so that's why I'm writing sorted number, sorted num list. Let's run this command. Okay, So the data entered in the original order is, you can see these numbers, you can check that these were the numbers 2, 3, 5, 6 and so on. So the data entered was this, and the ascending order is this. Now finding the sum, that's quite simple. We just use the sum method. So print the sum of given numbers is new line, simple command, sum of what? Sum of my num list, whatever the numbers were there. So let's see. Yes, the sum is 99. Now finding the number of values entered, so that's very simple. Print the total number of values are length of num list, whatever the number of elements are there. Let's see. Yes, the total number of values are 18. Now finding the maximum value. So print new line, the maximum value is comma max of num list. So the maximum value is 8. Now I will just do a little cheating. I will just copy it and paste it and change max into minimum, and the method will be min. So oh, I forgot to write backslash n, that means new line. So in new line it will print this, and also for this backslash n new line, the minimum value is -1. Now we want to find the mean. So we know how to find the mean, the sum of values divided by the number of values, and we have already found that sum of values is this, number of values is this. So we will just print, or we can just define mean first. So mean is equal to sum of num list divided by length of num list. Means you just add the number of values and then divide the list of numbers. So print the arithmetic mean is mean. Now the mean is there. Now let's suppose I want a rounded answer, because this number is just like I want a rounded answer. So what I will do, I can just say that the rounded new line, obviously, and also here new line, the rounded value to 2 decimal places is round mean to 2 decimal places. Now let's see. Okay, so rounded to 2 decimal places is 4.94. Now finding the median. Median is the middle value, obviously. So in median, first we need to sort it. So num list dot sort. This will change my original list. So, and say if length of num list modulo 2 is 1. What does it mean? Means if there are odd numbers, because the number of values that the user will enter, either they will be even number of values or it will be odd number of values. And now in this case, in this example, how many values were there? The total number of values are 18. So means there are 18 values. So if the even number of observations are there, we find median using the 2 middle values and add them and divide by 2. And if it is odd, we just see the middle value. So that's why we have to define it in 2 steps. So if the length of num list is odd, I'm just writing in the comment so that you remember. If the number of values are odd. Then obviously median is MD index. That means I will just find the location of that median is equal to length of num list, means whatever the number of values are there, and then absolute division 2. So that means if there are 13 values, let's suppose, so 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. So I will just take 6. So that will give me the integer value. Now median is equal to num list and MD index. That means whatever the index of median is, it will show that. Now if length of num list that means if the number of observations are, if the number of values are even, then what we need, if it is even, then we need 2 values and add them and divide by 2. So median lower, let's suppose the lower value of median is equal to, not the lower value actually, we can say that the lower limit of the median, or the 2 values we need. So length of num list divided by 2. Now let's suppose there are 13 values, 13 divided by 2 is 6.5, so it will just take 6 and then subtract 1. So this will be the lower value, means the first, I can just write in comment that first middle index for even length. Now MDU means the lower, so it will be just MD lower plus 1. MD upper, that U means upper, sorry. So MDU upper will be just lower limit plus 1. That means 6 plus 1 7. So obviously if we are getting 6.5, so we will add 6th value and 7th value and divide by 2. So the MDL will return 6 and MDU will be obviously plus 1. So upper limit, and then median will be num list MDL. That means in number list return the index, that is MD1, plus num list MDU, and then when you add it, divide that by 2. So this will give us the num list. Now print the sorted values are \n. So the sorted values are num list, because now we have sorted it, so obviously the list has changed, and print new line. Why I always forget. The median is median. So this is the list 1 to 2 and so on. You can see that middle value is 5, so obviously the median is going to be 5. Now what we will do, we will just run the entire program. So what we can do is, I will just copy all of these cells, first step here, then second step, because I want to run this whole program in one go, so that's why I have to gather all these steps. Or you can just write comments here like step 2 and so on. And then step number 3, step number 4, Step number 5. Step 6. Step number 7. And then finally step number 8. Okay, so let's see. Enter numbers. So 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 12, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and then E. Okay. So now the data entered in the original order is this. The data in ascending order is this. The sum of given numbers is 97. Total numbers are 16. So the maximum value is 12, minimum is 0, the mean is 6.0625, and if we round it, we get 0.06. The sorted values are here, and the median is 6. So this was all about the lists. Or what you can do is you can define a function like def basic stats, and then enter all of these things in that function. And then if you run that function, you will not have to write this whole code again. You just write, let's say, basic stats, bracket, and then enter. So as soon as you press basic stats, enter, so this whole program will run, and even the user will not know what's happening there because all of the code is in another file. So we will see how to use the other files, means how to define all of this code in a separate file, and then just use that file in our basic program here. So this was all about list. Hopefully that was a beneficial lecture. See you in next lecture.